my channel. Thank you for subscribing and being a part of this movement. As you know, I read stories for children and parents to model how it should be for children. Today, I brought one of my favorite teachers to embark on this moment. She's going to introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Peggy Profiter, and I'm a Baltimore City teacher. Right now, I am teaching children that are considered gifted, advanced, or talented learners.
Okay, and you know me, I'm Roger Johnson, an educational consultant. I help students manage behavior for students in urban settings. Today, we're going to model how to partner read with your scholar so that they can enjoy books even better. And because it's the holiday season, we're going to read a very special book that's very special to both of us. I got my own exclusive reading with her this morning, and I really appreciate it. So we're going to go ahead and start reading it now. So, do you want to start reading?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I'm going to be the teacher or mom, and this is my student or son. So the idea here is that I'm going to read a little bit, and then when my son or student gives me the clue that he's ready to read, I'm just going to gently pass the book over. And when he's decided he's read enough, he'll give it back to me. So it's going to be this back and forth, but we really want to focus on making our student or our child comfortable with the reading.
Before you read, I do want to let you know, guys, there will be a bit of background noise as our children are celebrating for the holidays. So please pay attention because we have some beautiful gems that we're dropping as we record with you today. Ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
All right, here we have The Polar Express by Chris Van Allsburg. On Christmas Eve many years ago, I lay quietly in my bed. I did not rustle the sheets. I breathed slowly and silently. I was listening for a sound a friend had told me I'd never hear. The ringing bells of Santa's sleigh. There is no Santa, my friend had insisted, but I knew he was wrong. Late that night, I did hear sounds, though not of ringing bells. From outside came the sounds of hissing steam and squeaking metal. I looked through my window and saw a train standing perfectly still in front of my house.
Wow.
You ready?
Yes.
You want to show everybody the picture?
Sure. It was wrapped in an apron of steam. Snowflakes fell lightly around it. A conductor stood at the open of one of the cars. He took a large pocket watch from his vest, then looked up at the window. I put on my slippers and rode. I tiptoed down the stairs and out the door. All aboard, the conductor cried out. I ran up to him. Well, he said, are you coming? Where? I asked. Why, to the North Pole, of course, was his answer. This is the Polar Express. I took his outstretched hand and he pulled me aboard.
Nice. The train was filled with other children, all in their pajamas and nightgowns. We sang Christmas carols and we ate candies and nougat centers as white as snow. We drank hot chocolate as thick and rich as melted chocolate bars. Outside, the lights of towns and villages flickered in the distance as the Polar Express raced northward. Okay.
Soon, there was no more lights to be seen. We traveled through cold, dark forests. We lean wolves, roamed, and white-tailed rabbits hid from our train as it thundered through the quiet wilderness.
We climbed mountains so high, it seemed as if we would scrape the moon. But the Polar Express never slowed down. Faster and faster we ran along, rolling over peaks and through valleys like a car on a roller coaster.
The mountains turned into hills, the hills to snow-covered plains. We crossed the barren desert of ice, the great polar ice cap. Lights appeared in the distance. They looked like the lights of a strange ocean, linear sailing on a frozen sea. "There," said the conductor, "is the North Pole."
The North Pole? It was a huge city standing alone at the top of the world, filled with factories where every Christmas toy was made. At first, we saw no elves. "They are gathering at the center of the city," the conductor told us. "That is where Santa will give the first gift of Christmas." "Who receives the first gift?" we all asked. The conductor answered, "He will choose one of you."
Is it me?
It could be.
It could be me. I'm excited. Will it be you? Let us know in the comments. "Look!" shouted one of the children. "The elves!" Outside, we saw hundreds of elves. As our train drew closer to the center of the North Pole, we slowed to a crawl. So crowded were the streets with Santa's helpers. When the Polar Express could go no further, we stopped, and the conductor led us outside. Wow, the train stopped. I'm excited.
We passed through the crowd to the edge of a large open circle. In front of us stood Santa's sleigh. The reindeer were excited. They pranced and paced, ringing the silver sleigh bells that hung from their harnesses. It was a magical sound like nothing I'd ever heard. Across the circle, the elves moved apart, and Santa Claus appeared. The elves cheered wildly. He marched over to us and, pointing to me, said, "Let's have this fellow here." He jumped into his sleigh. The conductor handed me up. I sat on Santa's knee and he asked, "Now, what would you like for Christmas?"
I can think of so many things. Let's see what he looked for. I knew that I could have any gift I could imagine. But the thing I wanted most for Christmas was not inside Santa's giant bag. What I wanted more than anything was one silver bell from Santa's sleigh. When I asked, Santa smiled. Then he gave me a hug and he told an elf to cut a bell from the reindeer's harness. The elf tossed it up to Santa. He stood holding the bell high above him and called out, "The first gift of Christmas."
A clock struck midnight as the elves roared their approval. Santa handed the bell to me and I put it in my bathrobe pocket. The conductor helped me down from the sleigh. Santa shouted out the reindeers' names and cracked his whip. His team charged forward and climbed into the air. Santa circled once above us, then disappeared into the cold, dark polar sky.
Oh, our friends are trying to come in. And we love our friends joining us. As soon as we were back inside the Polar Express, the other children asked to see the bell. I reached into my pocket, but the only thing I felt was a hole. I had lost the silver bell from Santa Claus' sleigh. "Let's hurry outside and look for it," one of the children said. But the train gave a sudden lurch and started moving. We were on our way home. Oh, so sad. I wonder if that's why he tried to come in.
That looks like the boy who came in. It broke my heart to lose the bell. When the train reached my house, I sadly left the other children. I stood at my doorway and waved goodbye. The conductor said something from the moving train, but I couldn't hear him. "What?" I yelled out. He cupped his hands around his mouth. "Merry Christmas!" he shouted. The Polar Express let out a loud blast from its whistle and sped away.
Oh, man. Okay, almost done. Let's see. On Christmas morning, my little sister Sarah and I opened our presents. When it looked as if everything had been unwrapped, Sarah found a last small box behind the tree. It had my name on it. Inside was the silver bell. There was a note. Found this on the seat of my sleigh. Fix that hole in your pocket. Signed, Mr. C. I shook the bell and it made the most beautiful sound my sister had ever heard. But my mother said, "Oh, that's too bad." "Yes," said my father, "it's broken." When I'd shaken the bell, my parents had not heard the sound. Could you read the last page for me?
Yeah. At one time, most of my friends could hear the bell, but as years passed, it fell silent for all of them. Even Sarah found one Christmas that she could no longer hear its sweet sound. Though I've grown old, the bell still rings for me, as it does for all who truly believe.